Hello and welcome to the SPSF Applegate Industrial Spur. I've got another layout update for you, and you have to excuse my poor video editing. I don't have any video editing software yet installed, but as I get going with these videos more, I'll definitely get into that. So this is pretty raw. But anyways, just wanted to give you another update and give you a quick little layout tour from last time because it was just a pile of boxes against the wall, and now as you can see, there's a little bit layout built. So I'm gonna show you that and how I have constructed the layout so far and what I've got going on next. All right, so first of all, I just want to show you, like I mentioned before, I was largely going to build bench work using 2x4s. So just want to take you underneath here. This is what the underneath looks like. And I've drilled some holes for like the layout bus wire to go through that'll power the tracks. And so it's a pretty simple design. And then basically I just built this framework using 2x4s, and then it's just screwed into the wall studs. So pretty simple. I actually had a design where I was going to use 4 legs under the layout and ended up taking a couple of them out because it was so well supported against the wall. So here's the layout, what it looks like. Have this 8-foot long section over here. And then on this side is this 11-foot section. And then the skirting is just landscape fabric to hide what's underneath. And so eventually I'll paint the fascia here, and then on top this is the valance for the lighting. So definitely not a double deck layout. And then the other thing that I did is I decided I was going to use Homosote on top, as I mentioned in my previous video, but I decided to go in the direction of 2-inch foam instead. So you can see that up here. And then underneath that, if you could tell on the when we looked underneath, I've got 1/2-inch plywood. So that way it's a little sturdier on top here. And I think that'll help with the sound too. I'm going to plan to use cork roadbed for the main line, but probably not for the spurs. But I've got the spurs marked out here. I basically came through with my freight cars that I'm planning to use at the industries, and put up some buildings too, and then laid out some real turnouts that I have so I could figure out the dimensions. And then the one real curve that I have is this curve that goes from one of the tangents to the other, and that's a 24-inch radius curve. So I drew that one out using a long ruler so I could get the 24 inches correct. So the next step is going to be doing some painting. And so that's going to involve painting the backdrop here, which will be a sky blue. And then I'm also going to try to paint up here. And this part up here is where the lighting is going to go. I'm just going to do some LED strip lighting. So I'll show you that when I have that installed. So maybe the next week or so, have hopefully another update on that. But in the meantime, I'll just give you a quick little layout tour. So as I mentioned, this is the SPSF Applegate Industrial Spur, which is a fictional location in the metropolitan region of Maple, Nebraska, southeast Nebraska, and the era is the mid-90s. So 5 industries. So on this end here, and this is a former Rock Island line, I mentioned that as well. The main line is going to kind of die off here. It basically comes, this is used to be a Rock Island main line that terminated in Maple, and so the SPSF took over. Well, actually, it was a Santa Fe back then in 1980. Took over the spur and started operating it after the Rock Island went bankrupt and started liquidating, and so they eventually bought it from the trustee. And so this is now operated by the SPSF, and so there's still 5 valid industries left. So we have a ready mix plant here, and up in front is going to be a lumber yard. This is going to be Payless Cashways lumber yard, and then on this end, we have a distribution plant, which is going to be Suma Distribution, which is just a fantasy company that I created for the Maple area a long time ago. This is the blue I'm thinking of using, this kind of darker one here. It looks a little too dark for me, but this is used on Joe Atkinson's Iowa Interstate layout, which I'm going to visit soon, and so I'll confirm that's really the color that I want to use. Then over on this side, we've got 2 more industries. This is the old Rock Island Depot, and you can see the Applegate sign there. And so the first industry is this transload facility, which will mostly get covered hoppers delivering fertilizer. And then the industry in the back is going to be the Maple Mercury, which is the newsprint. I still have to cut this building a little bit. I cut this to work with the old layout, and it kind of works here, but it needs a little bit of adjusting. And then this is going to just be a bridge, just like on the other side, that kind of frames the end of the layout. And so the freight yard, the Hobbs Street yard, will essentially be like past here, if you will. You have to imagine that. And so when I start each layout operating session, the freight train will start right here in front of the depot. It'll be staged here, and the conductor and engineer will grab their operating tools and start running the train and be able to switch it. And then since the switch points face different directions, I have to use the siding over here to run around the train. So that's kind of how it works. This is another industry that it used to be longer, and then I'm kind of working it into this scene. This is actually going to feature an abandoned spur that'll go through here and an abandoned turnout, so that'll be kind of cool. Because, you know, in modern industrial areas, not all industries are still serving rail, and so I wanted to incorporate some of that into this one. All right, so yeah, that's it. Just wanted to give you a basic tour and show you what I've got constructed so far. Basically got the benchwork up and the surface down, and then fascias on there, got the valance up as well. So we'll get into some painting and lighting next, and yep, stay tuned for the next video. Thanks for watching. See ya.